It was a war that Russia thought it would easily win. Putin promised his people Ukraine would crumble under Russia's might. It didn't. And now, the unthinkable is happening inside Russia. Members of Russia's regional parliament are admitting it. The war is lost. Panic is spreading, chaos is rising, and dissenting voices are growing louder. One of those voices belongs to Grigory Yeremeyev. At 69, Yeremeyev has seen it all. The glory of the Soviet Union, the collapse of Russia, and the rise of Vladimir Putin. Now, after 4 years of fighting in Ukraine, Yeremeyev is telling Russia's leader and his own colleagues what everyone fears but few dare say: the war in Ukraine has failed. On February 5th, Yeremeyev stood before his colleagues in the Samara Regional Duma and made a bold declaration. The goals of the Ukraine war are not only unattained, they are fundamentally unattainable. Russia can't win. Why is Putin still fighting? Because stopping now would mean going down in history as a defeated president, beaten by a nation no one thought could resist Russia. To call these comments controversial is an understatement. In Russia, peaceful anti-war voices are often silenced, jailed, or charged with fabricated crimes. Yeremeyev is different. He spoke inside parliament, directly challenging Putin. The Kremlin couldn't silence him with false claims of violence, though they tried to label him guilty of press abuse. Almost immediately, other deputies shouted him down. His microphone was cut. But it was too late, or his message had been heard. Putin's war is failing. Every day, Russia loses more soldiers, more territory, and more credibility. Let's put it in perspective. The war in Ukraine has now lasted longer than Russia's involvement in World War II. Russia's advances? At best, 150 kilometers into Ukraine. By comparison, the Soviets pushed Nazi forces over 1,500 kilometers west. Russia's casualties? Over 1.25 million soldiers lost, yet only 20% of Ukraine is under Russian control. Even Putin's propaganda is collapsing. Cities Russia claims to have captured still stand. Ukrainian drones now strike 932 miles into Russian territory, something unimaginable in World War II. Finland's President Alexander Stubb summarized Putin's failure at the Munich Security Conference. He wanted to make Ukraine Russian. Ukraine became more European. He wanted to stop NATO expansion. Finland and Sweden joined. He wanted to lower European defense spending. It's now rising to 5% of GDP. Failure after failure. Financially, Russia is collapsing. Spending on healthcare, education, and infrastructure has plummeted. Oil is sold at huge discounts just to keep the economy afloat. Population pressures are increasing due to war deaths. Yeremeyev is right. Russia has already lost this war. And Putin can't stop because doing so would mean admitting defeat. He is trapped, clinging to power, even selling Russia to China to stay in control. Meanwhile, Ukraine's strategy is working. Kill zones are breaking records. Russian forces are failing to advance. Putin's war is crumbling. So, what happens next? Dissent in Russia is growing. The war is failing on every level, and Putin's legacy is slipping away. Day by day, battle by battle, mistake by mistake. If you want the latest updates from inside Russia, news that mainstream media doesn't cover, subscribe to Quick Update.